answers at the end. Without much, without further ado, I will just go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Paul Ngum, and I've been 15 years. My background is between law and IT. So I studied law and then I moved into working as a paralegal. So this is within the legal phase. I worked there for a bit and decided to transition into IT quality assurance. I've been in that field for a while, and most of it has been consulting. So I've worked for a lot of different companies, both private and public companies. My last couple of roles were with the UK Home Office before I decided to start AfriQA. So I'm going to tell you a bit about Africa or AfriQA in a bit as well. But before I do that, I would hand over to my really good friend, Suresh, to introduce himself.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Hello, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon.
Yeah, over to
So,
you, Suresh.
can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hi. Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
we can hear you.
Perfect. Thank you. And can you see me as well? I turned on my video.
Yeah, we can see you, but it looks like Paul has a difficulty with the connectivity, so we can turn
Yeah.
off the videos to stable his connections when you are done.
Yes. Okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, we can see and hear
And
you, Suresh.
yes, thanks, Paul, and thanks, Patrick. Starting with my introduction, my name is Suresh Rajendran, and I'm basically from India as an origin, and I've been in the IT industry for about 20 years now. Started my career in 2004. Been working on various global engagements in the past, and as well as currently with a big IT giant called Capgemini, and I'm part of senior management team. And I've been working across the globe for almost like 16 years now. I worked in UK, I worked in Europe, I worked in Hong Kong, Australia, USA, and currently I'm based in Finland. So I moved to Finland in 2017. I'm settled here right now, and yeah, so I have good experience working on various complex software development programs, and I also worked on various ERP transformation programs, which is more familiarly familiar in the IT market. So throughout my career, I've been involved deeply in the SAP transformation program. So SAP is actually a ERP application. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning application, which is widely used across the globe by all the companies. So the companies organize their day-to-day activities and operations into a ERP application, and that application is SAP. Okay, so I would say like across about 95% of the world market lies on SAP application. So that's where my experience lies on. So I've been working on managing various SAP transformation programs, and also like my specialty is testing. So I'm specialized in end-to-end testing delivery for my IT programs, and this involves around functional testing, integration testing, user acceptance testing, regression, and also non-functional testing. So I'm specialized in all these testing activities. So when I talk about testing, it's under the quality assurance stream. Okay, and I hold a bachelor degree. I'm an engineering graduate in information technology, and I also have a diploma degree in computer technology. And yes, that's all about me. And I'm a good friend of Paul. Like we met in 2012 or 13, I guess. Paul, like we met in one of our client assignments, and then we became friends. So it's been almost 11 years. We've been friends together and understanding and growing along actually. Yeah. And feel free to ask any questions to know about me. Please feel free. Thanks. Over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Suresh. So as you can see, those are okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about AfriQA or AfriQA, how the name came about, what we do, and all that good stuff. So Africa, it's essentially a UK registered social enterprise, and we are the first social enterprise in the recruit, train, deploy marketplace. And our mission really is bridging the gap between university and industry. And we do this in a lot of different ways. One of our programs, which is on quality engineering, essentially provides training, it provides internships, and it provides an entry gateway into the quality engineering market. We are Tech Industry Gold accredited by Tech Skills UK. This is the accreditation body that certifies any kind of qualification, and they really focus on qualifications that employers are looking for. So before you get accredited, the training would have to have been scrutinized for you to get that Tech Industry Gold accreditation. And then finally, British Computer Society is one of the oldest accreditation bodies in the UK. They were founded back in 1957. It's got quite a lot of different members in a lot of different countries. And finally, we have the ISTQB, which again is a qualification. And at some point, we will talk a little bit more about that. The reason I show you all of this is when you get any kind of training through AfriQA, it would be under one of these umbrellas, either Tech Industry Gold accredited, either is directly an ISTQB certified training, and then you get the certification, or one of the courses with British Computer
Hi, Paul. We can barely hear you now.
Society.
Hello, Paul.
So really, we've been working with a lot of different universities to
Hello,
get
Paul.
graduates, put them through our programs, and then deploy.
I think Paul has a difficulty with the internet, so we'll try and get him back online. But before then, I think what he was saying basically was about the company. Suresh, do you want to say something about the background of the company while Paul joins?
Yes, I think maybe we can skip this part. We'll wait for Paul to join back. Maybe we can move forward on understanding the quality. Yeah, quality engineering. So basically, like quality simply means like how good or bad something is. So that is where we define the quality. So if you buy any product in the market, it can be a product or a service or some kind of a experience. So this comes with a proper quality. Yeah. So if the quality is bad, okay, the company lose the customer, and also it disappoints the customers. So basically, the quality defines how satisfied the customer. It's about the people who use the product or service or experience. So when we talk about good quality, it's something the product that works well and that lasts for long and makes people happy. But when you talk about bad quality, it's something breaks quick or easily breakable and doesn't work properly, and that disappoints people. So for example, if you're buying a mobile phone, okay, and the phone, when you use the phone, it should work fast, it should have a good camera, and it should have, it should last for a long time, and also like it should be easy to use for the customer. Okay, so then the customer is happy. Okay, and the same time, when you go to a restaurant and you are treated badly, okay, there is no proper service, and you're being given a cold food, and you're not really greeted well, or you're not treated well, then it's a bad service. So then it's a bad quality of the service. So this is how a quality is defined. Okay, so now, how we ensure quality? Okay, quality can be assured by through a process. Yeah, the quality can be assured through a process which is called quality assurance. Okay, so when we talk about quality assurance, in specifically in the software industry, the quality assurance means focusing on finding and fixing the defects. Okay, focusing on finding and fixing the defects is basically is embedded into a clear detailed testing process that defines how the testing has to be performed. Okay, in order to have a formal way of understanding the overall process and methods in the software development activity, and also understanding how the product works. So without understanding the product, the quality cannot be met. Okay, so when we talk about quality assurance, the key focus of QA is to ensure the quality in the process of making a products, or delivering the services. Okay, and how it happens, basically, the companies must understand the requirements, and also like understand the consequences if the requirements are not met as per the expectation. So basically, quality assurance will help or to ensure that the defects are identified before the product reach to the customer. Okay, and the role of quality assurance team will ensure this. And what they do, basically, they create a proper test plan, test strategy, and execute the test plans, create the test cases that will define how the product will be tested. And also, like, they run various testing phases, I would say. So there are some testing activities will be performed, which with the use of, like, it can be a manual testing, or automation testing, or a performance testing. So there will be set of testing will be performed before a product is released to the market. Okay, and when the quality assurance is done, basically the quality assurance is done at the end of a development phase. So when you talk about development, it's in between releasing to the production, and before the testing, basically, like, in between development phase and the production phase, there is a phase called testing, where the quality assurance is defined clearly to run through a set of test scenarios and test cases, and identify the defects in that during that phase of testing, and then correct the defects, and make sure that all the defects are identified before moving to production. And then when it is released to production, they will ensure a good quality. So this is all about quality assurance. Okay, but when we talk about quality engineering, so what is quality engineering? Basically, quality engineering in software development is to ensure that the defects are prevented prior to the you know prior to releasing into the production. So basically, quality engineering is integrating best practices, the quality processes throughout the software development life cycle. Okay, from planning to designing and to deployment. So we ensure that the quality engineering have a clear processes, tools, methods, and technologies where it helps uh, you know the program team, or the project team, to identify or prevent the defects before it moves to production. So there is a slight difference in ensuring in the quality assurance and engineering. The main key aspect here is when quality assurance is finding the defects and fixing the defects, quality engineering is preventing it. Okay, and the key goal is to make sure that the entire development processes, okay, are embedded with a clear testing methods and testing best practices in order to prevent the chances of defects occurring in the development phase as well as in the delivery of after the production. Okay, and if you have any questions, please keep the questions with you. We will have a session where we can discuss it, and it's going to be more interactive. We have a question and answer sessions where you can ask all questions related to the quality engineering and quality assurances. Okay. Then moving on to the value of quality engineering. So when we talk about value of quality engineering, it involves like what exactly we get out of having a proper quality engineering practice in any of the organization. Okay. When we have a proper quality engineering process as part of the software development, okay, we get some benefits out of it. So the values are, it prevents the bugs means defects early, and there will be a faster delivery, and there will be a cost saving to the company, and also it improves the collaboration and communication, and it delivers a high quality user experience, and also it supports continuous delivery. So talking about preventing bugs early, okay, the quality engineering integrates thorough quality checks throughout the development life cycle, okay, and it doesn't wait for the defects to be found in the later stage of a project, okay. So when we talk about later stage of a project where the development is completed and then we do the testing, okay, but preventing bugs early stage means we are embedding a process where the team is going to the testing team will start working from the beginning of the project, from the requirement analysis, from the design phase of the product, and from the development stage. So they will be working across the entire development phase, so that the quality can be ensured in a better manner, and also like it helps to avoid the defects in the later stage. So when we find the defects in the later stage, the cost of fixing it is quite higher than normal. So that way the company will save. So nowadays this is the trend, like all the companies, all the software companies are moving into agile or CI/CD, like continuous integration or continuous development project methods, where testing also involved in the early stage of the project. Okay, and by embedding the quality practices like automation and the continuous testing, so the quality engineering will speed up the development and release process, so by which way there will be a faster delivery in the production, so we can release the products as earliest as in the market, so that we will be on top of the demand. Okay, and cost effective, like the example of cost effective is like we catch something, okay, after it is damaged, and then we fix it. So the amount of effort taken for preparing a product, and then we are fixing it, right, finding a defect and fixing it, so it is a tedious process, and it involves a cost. Okay, cost for the first development phase, and then defects, and then again fixing it. So it's like the cost is like maybe double or triple when we find the defects in the later stages. But when you're embedding the quality engineering process within the development phase, so you will be finding defects within the first cycle of development, so which means that you're saving the money of fixing it later. Okay, and this is the one of the most proven method, where the company is also like focusing on reducing the cost cutting and improving the efficiency of the delivery. Okay, and also while the quality engineering team works closely with the development team, it improves the collaboration and communication and transparency within the program. So the testing team, especially where the QA professionals are involved in. So they will come to know like what is the requirement and how detailed the requirements are, and what is the development process and how detailed the development processes are. So they will come to know, like they will understand in detail, and they will help the development team, to find the defects in the early stages. Okay. And also this, the QA practices in place, software is more reliable and stable and user friendly, and this leads to higher customer satisfaction because the user experience very few bugs. So for example, like the defects are found in in the development stage, and when it move to production, there will be the chances of finding defect is very low. Okay, by which way it will satisfy the user experience. So the in general, okay, when the product is released to production, it depends. Like for example, if it is a medical equipment or a medical device, okay, it expect to be 100% accuracy. Yeah, the product quality should be 100% accurate because we cannot compromise on this medical or pharmaceutical or biotechnology related equipments or devices or the medicines. So it should have a high quality. But when it comes to like apparels, for example, your accessories, I think there is some compromises can be done. But we have a clear quality control, I mean quality parameters to be met before moving any product or any service into the production. Yeah, into the real time usage. Yeah. Then the continuous delivery, like as I said, like the quality engineering will help the teams to use the, I mean, to move forward into a way where we can do the proper code reviews, we can do the proper automation test, and also monitor the progress of the testing and the releases, and which helps to slow down the pace of development. So by which way, I think the value of quality engineering is met in many aspects. And the career, so the key career scope you get when you become a quality engineer. Okay, so the key career scopes are like you can work as a QA tester, or you can work as an automation engineer, or a QA specialist, or a performance tester, or cyber security tester. There are many roles that demands in the market. Okay, over to you, Paul.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Suresh. Apologies, everyone had some issues with the network and it dropped off. But I'm back now and hopefully it stays like that. So, why quality engineering really? This slide really, I just want to capture the essence of quality engineering and to show how the field is continuing to grow as we move along. Um, so there is a recent report that was predicting that by 2025, 80% or AI will be involved in 80% of all software development. I mean, to me, this is an overstatement. It might not be the case, but it actually indicates, how much AI is going to have an impact in the development process. And what this translates to, and what this means is there is going to be a huge demand for human testers to test this AI generated code. It will be an enabler to developers. It might reduce the role of developers, but that would create a need for people to actually make sure that this code works as expected. Cybersecurity, the random attacks are continuing to grow. Cyber criminals are getting smarter. So companies continuously look for ways to make sure that before they ship a product, it has been tested. Okay, so with these criminals getting really creative, the need to also get others to test this, like Suresh mentioned, one of the career paths is cybersecurity tester, penetration tester, security tester. Also, our VR Internet of Things. The metaverse has huge thing, and a lot of things are going to be on there that would require testing. That's the same thing with Internet of Things. We've already seen how much it has taken up, but it's also going to continue. And as that demand in that landscape continues, there would be a need to quality assure these services and solutions. Suresh, can you move to the next slide, please?
Yes, Paul. Yeah,
Okay,
I think
over to you,
maybe I can.
Suresh.
Yeah, I can take
I
it
had a
up.
slide. Uh, all right, go on. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, so this like what are the current trends in quality engineering? So when we talk about quality engineering, it's a vast subject. Like people may get confusions like what to choose basically. So under when these are the current testing trends in QE industry. So first is the automation in testing. So using a proper test automation tool and doing things in an automated way than a manual way. So that is called automation, test automation. And also like agile and DevOps integration, so where we embed the testing processes into the development life cycle. And that is another trend. And I think everybody are aware of it, the artificial intelligence and machine learning in testing. So what the use of artificial intelligence or Gen AI or ML in testing is booming like anything. Okay, so when you come out of your university and start looking for jobs, you will find a lot of opportunities, occurring through these areas. So please keep yourself focused on this artificial intelligence related applications or tool that helps in testing. Okay, what basically the AI tools helps is like to do the predictive analysis and also like create self-healing test cases and do the test in a more advanced manner than automation. Okay, at least I would say like the key difference is the automation needs some kind of manual interference where we need to monitor the progress or do the testing. But when you talk about the artificial intelligence, it does on its own. Okay, all you need to do is a proper setups. Okay, then the security testing. So as Paul mentioned, that there are a lot and lot of issues happening across the companies where the hackers are roaming around, trying to steal the data or steal whatever they get, the benefit out of any organization. So the organization is very important in are focused on assuring a proper testing process and methods in place where they will ensure that the cyber security and compliance testing are performed periodically or regularly in every project, and it is maintained in a proper way. So these automation testing, agile DevOps, AI ML, security testing are the key current trends in the quality engineering industry. The future of quality engineering. So what's next? So basically, as I already said, the AI and machine learning is vital. It's booming. It's the demand for AI and ML testing is increasing drastically, I would say. And then shift left testing. So testing early, like not waiting for the development to be completed, but please test early. So this is what the companies want to do. Basically they want to do test often in the development cycle, and make sure that the testing is identified in early stage, so that excuse me, so that the company won't struggle in the production. And test ops. So test ops is nothing but testing the integrating the testing processes into a development life cycle, which is called DevOps. So DevOps is one of the most popular method used in the software development industry. So you when you work on a real time programs, you may be getting a chance to work on DevOps related projects, where all the business and development teams work together, testing teams work together in one particular programs. Yeah, and the IoT and mobile testing. So IoT and mobile testing is also like the future. I would say like we are started using the smart watches, we started using the smart TVs, and the smart fit bands, and we also started using this wireless smart vacuum cleaner. So the demand for testing these smart devices are also increasing day by day. And when the world moves on, fully automated operations, I think the demand for the smart devices also increases. So when you think about your career, so you need to see, okay, can I do AI, or can I do a test automation, or can I do a mobile testing or security? So you should choose what you want it to be. Okay, and here the emerging tools and technologies. So there are, in order to support, okay, in order to support the testing, I think there are various tools and technologies used in the market. Okay, and it's not like every project or every companies use the same tools and technology. They use different technology based on their software development, process, and their needs, and the business models. So it defines, like, there are various factors behind choosing a tool and technology. Okay, so talking about test automation framework, so there is the popular tools are like Robot Framework, Tricentis, Tosca, Selenium, Cypress, TestNG, JUnit. So these are all the most popular and familiarly used test automation, tools, applications, and this is something been in the market for longer and been evolved, continuously for to meet the market demands. Okay, and CI/CD tools, GitHub, Jenkins, and Circus AI, and there are some AI powered testing. So these are all new. AI powered testing tools are quite new in the market, and it has very good demand, since they don't find any experienced testers available. But in order to use that, it just needs a lot of interest and understanding of how the software development lifecycle and testing lifecycle works. So AI powered testing tools like Testim, Apply tools, or Mabel, or top in the market now. And performance testing tools, Performance Center, JMeter, Load Runner. So these are all the commonly used tools for doing a performance testing of any of the software or products. And over to you, Paul.
Thank you, Suresh. So, what does the software testing market look like at the moment? On here, a report, this is as early as last year, that the software testing market was estimated at 87.42 billion US dollars. This was last year. And the forecast is that it grows at a compound annual growth rate of 21.71%. Again, I mean, this is a really established source, but I question it. I don't question that it is growing. It might be a lot, but it just gives you an idea of how much the market is growing, because at 21.7 compound annual growth rate, that takes it to about 512 billion in 2032. And that's a very short span of time. And this is not far from the truth. It might not be accurate, but it gives you an idea of how much. Next slide, Suresh, please. Now, this is a really important part to sort of pay attention to. And this is, how do you get started? How do you get from where you are right now to becoming a QA engineer? So one of the quickest and easiest ways to get in would be, obviously, you start off with the theory, because that gives you kind of like the foundations of what the industry is all about. You would learn about the terminology, you would learn about the processes, you would learn about the tools and the best practice. There are a lot of resources you get this sort of information from. It's got everything. But obviously, the only downside to that is it is haphazard. Sorry, can someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can still hear me?
Yes, we could hear you, Paul.
Okay, all right, perfect, perfect. Thank you.
Yes,
So
Paul,
yeah, so the
I think you can go off camera so it may stabilize your connectivity a bit better.
okay. Yeah, perfect. And resources are there. The only downside to that is that it isn't structured. But you could also find courses on this ed tech sites like Udemy, Coursera. They would have like short courses that cover all of the fundamentals of software testing. And then eventually you can take a certification like the ISTQB. The ISTQB, so it's the international certification body that awards these certifications for software testing. They have a lot of different ones. They have foundation, they have advanced, they have automation, they have secure. So they have different ones. But the foundation one is the one to start with. And then once you know which way you want to swing, you could start following the other routes. Another really critical one is obviously, there is this catch-22 situation where many companies want people with experience, but you need to get into a company to get such experience. One of the ways to go about these is internships.
Hi, Paul. We can hear you again.
Okay, I can continue from here. So what Paul is trying to say is like, so in order to get gain experience, before moving into a real time jobs, I think it's better to do some kind of internship, find some internship where you can actually train yourself into the into this software testing or quality engineering areas, and there are a lot of online trainings available, and also like there are open source content where you can work as a freelancer, or freelancer and without pay. You just get experience of a project. So there are many things that you could start with instead of waiting for getting a real time work. At least this give you some kind of hands on experience on how the program or project works. Okay, and then specialization. So what you want to become, basically, like when you talk about testing, it's vast. Okay, there are many specialities you can choose on. So performance testing is one of the area that is or highly in demand. And you can become a security tester. So when you talk about security testing, it involves the cyber security and compliances, and and many other areas. And also you can become a manual tester if you are experienced or well developed knowledge or skilled in any particular business domain. You can become a functional tester. So you need to be like specific on what you wanted to become in the specialization point of view. And also like you need to have a right networking and mentorship. And in order to do that, please, you can join. There are a lot of QA communities in the market where you can enroll yourself, join, and understand like how the testing trends are happening across the globe. Yeah. So this is about like how you get into QA as a career. Yeah. Okay. And some career advices on succeeding in QE, because when I joined my first company in 2004, it was quite hard. Like with, I think, the testing or the quality assurance, the industry has evolved a lot in the past, in the last 20 years. So when I started, it was very simple. There were no automation tools, major automation tools. There are one or two tools available in the market, and that is also like costed very high to the customers. So mostly it will be manual testing. But now there is like we ourselves get confused like what to choose, because the options are vast, and the opportunities are enormous. So be positive, think positive, and choose the wise area of testing. So to become successful, like you need to have a good mindset, like continuous learning, adaptation, because it is always like it is not a place where you can stagnant or sit and do the same thing again and again, because it keeps on evolving. So imagine like how our life was like 15, 20 years ago. Like we don't have a mobile phone. We were only using the telephones. Then the telephone became pager, and the pager became a cell phone, which is like with the buttons. And now we have smartphones, and we are like the smartphones into a different level. So I started my first smartphone with iPhone 3G, which was the oldest model, and now I'm using the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it evolves. So you need to be continuously adapting, and then focused on learning and improving your skills on a regular basis. So this is one of the key for success into a QE. And learning strategy, always start with something manual so that you will understand how the software development process works and how the software testing life cycle works, and you will understand some kind of a foundation in manual testing, and then you move to automation. Jumping directly into automation area is like something that gives, I mean, like what to say, you may get a lot of confusions in the beginning. But of course, if you are smart enough, you can still do it. But we would advise always to start something with manual, so you understand the process, you understand how the testing and software development works. Then you switch yourself into advanced applications and tools. Okay, always seek mentorship, like understand and learn from industry experts. Have a good connect with your seniors, and also like have a good connect with the industry and market experts, where you can and also like there are a lot of forums where you can join and follow what's happening around in the industry. Okay. And yes, if you do all these things, there are good growth opportunities. You can start your career as a tester, and then you can go into a step by step elevated role, like you can become an architect as well. Yeah. Okay, I think this is our last. We are nearing the end of our session, so please feel free to shoot your questions. So we are happy to answer you. I think Paul is back again. Paul, are you there? If not, I'm happy to answer. Yeah. Okay, to the students, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Dan.
Okay, thank you. So I want to ask, if I'm not mistaken, you said that free QA provide internships or specified training. How can we apply?
I think Paul will be the right person to answer that. Paul? Or I think maybe you can contact the Africa email ID, so that when there are some programs they conduct, I think they will reach you out and you can enroll it. So there is some regular events are happening and programs are regularly conducted, and it is designed to specific team of people who is like who's like focused on doing something specific. I think there are some industry related specific programs being designed by Africa, and they're conducting the same thing, in terms of the training ship. So yes, you can contact them, or they can contact you as well if there is anything need. Yeah. Did I
Yes,
answer you, Paul? Dan?
yes.
Yes. I will ask Paul to share the contacts of Africa.
Okay. Also, if
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm back.
okay, I was asking, I wanted to about internships and the specific trainings you talked about.
Okay, so Paul, I don't know whether I got your question. So you were asking that you wanted to know more about internship. Uh, is it the internship opportunities or what the internship covers? If it's about the internship opportunities, we do have a process that we go through. The prerequisite is to go through our training. So people that go through our training, we secure the internships are typically 3 months, and also the stage of training. And then that is a pipe getting a job with one of our partners as well. But again, it's all a process that people go through. So the training, the internship, and then depending on our performance and all that good stuff, then you can go on to, or we can look how to progress people into other roles as well within quality engineering, and that is if they are available. Paul, I don't know, is that what you were asking?
Yes, but do you have a website where students can apply?
Yes, we do. I will share the contact details with everyone as well. Um, yeah, are you on LinkedIn, Paul?
Yes, yes, yes. I mean,
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I will share the contact details with everyone. Okay, there was a point I was going to touch on LinkedIn as well, which is all around how to market yourself, and you have to be visible out there. But I guess maybe that would be for another session. The importance of how to position yourself and branding and all that kind of thing. We will look at that and in the future as well. But to answer your question, I would share the details.
Paul, we can hardly hear you again, but I think there's a hand up. Let's
Yes.
go, Ike. You can go ahead with your question.
so can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you. I was actually talking about Paul Ngum when he was responding to your question.
Yes.
But I don't know if you heard him. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, yeah. The last word I heard was I was asking him if they had a website, and he told me yes.
Yes.
And
He
I
has
thought
shared it. They have shared
Yeah,
the
I
website.
think I think the best way to reach out Paul or me myself is like the LinkedIn. We are always
okay.
active on LinkedIn. So, and also like in order to form a professional network, I think I suggest everybody to have a LinkedIn account. So this is free,
Yeah.
and you can connect with the industry experts. So LinkedIn is one of the most widely used application across the IT industry, or not even IT, like this is used in all the industries now. So a lot of headhunting also happens there, like you get a lot of opportunities to see there. So please reach out through LinkedIn. Yeah, I just shared the contacts, the LinkedIn profiles here in the chart. Please have a quick look at it and let me know if that's okay.
Yes. About my second question is that, so you said that in 2025, 80% of software development tasks will be undertaken by AI. And by looking on the projected market size of uh, QA in 2032, it was I think 151 billion. So can you just enlighten us about the roles that will be available? Because the market size will be huge, but you said that AI will be undertaking most of the roles.
No, I said that AI is actually supporting the testing. Okay,
Yes.
basically, it's not replacing the people. It's just replacing the processes of doing it in a manual way. Okay, so we started using the artificial intelligence tools as part of our project. So it's speeding up our delivery. Okay, it's speeding up our and it's improving our quality, and it's also helping in many aspects. So when you start using the tools in real time, I think your potential in delivering with a good quality and in a faster pace, and also like reaching the timeline in a quick pace. So it's like you use the tool, but not you're not replaced by the tools. Okay, there is always demand for people who are smart enough in using that tools and applications. Yes,
Uh,
the market is evolving. Like they don't want people to wait and sit and do things in a manual way. They just want everything to be done in a very, very quick and fast pace. Because for example, if you talk about the telecommunication industry, or if you talk about any industry, there are a lot of competitions happening across. So before anything that comes into the market, I think the competition starts. Yeah. So the
yes.
companies want to launch their products and launch their services or solutions before any other company does it. So there is always a competition happening across the companies in delivering things or launching things in as first. So to do that, okay, using the traditional manual method of testing or manual method of development will make them kick out of the competition. So you have to evolve yourself, use the tools, use the applications that supports your delivery of the software products. Yeah. Does it answer
Thank you.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
So you start using this. There are a lot of applications in the market. You can start using for day to day. You can, for example, we use Google in the past. Now it is ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT will give you a better view of like the questions that you ask it. It will give you everything. Okay, so likewise, start using the applications and tools that supports your day to day software development activity or testing activity, or even any of the business that you do.
Yes.
You need to master the applications and tools. Yeah.
So
So now,
just a question,
yes,
question of curiosity. How far is your company so that you started it in 2004?
we are in the market. So I'm working in we are, the Africa, which founded by Paul, has a very big aspiration. So I think they want, like the main intention is it is more advanced in providing the trainings and support in the project. So I think we are in the market for quite a long time, and we do this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, based on the market demand, we also upgrade ourselves, we improve, and we evolve, and we match the market demands and market trends. So it's not like we are far behind. Yeah, since we are in the market, we do this. So I'm talking on behalf of Paul, because I'm here as a guest speaker, but Paul is my best friend, and the company is also like I know since the time it is formed, and I know what is the future aspirations of this organization. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions from anyone? Can be anything related to software development, testing, or anything that you would like to.
All right, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the insight so far. So my question is, what, like for someone who wants to transition
Apologies,
into,
everyone. Again, I dropped off, but I'm back.
Yes, Paul. There's a question from another candidate, so we're just trying to understand the question.
all right, okay. So, as I was previously saying, and I'm asking for someone to smoothly transition into QA engineering or this field of quality assurance. So, I just want to know what is the set or the stipulated level one should be in the technical expertise? What
I
should
hear
be
someone asking a question, but I don't know if it's my network. Suresh, did you hear what that question was?
No, it's actually a little bit unclear. Is it AK? Would you be able to write the question in the chat so that we can understand much better, because your voice is also a bit low?
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it clear enough now?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's
All
much
right, all
better.
right,
Yeah, much
all
better.
right. Thank you so much. So, I was asking for someone to smoothly transition into QA testing or into the field of quality assurance and its engineering. So, what is the required technical expertise, or what is the set? What should be the set level for someone to attain before he can be deemed fit to transition into this field? Maybe probably in terms of
Okay.
the technical tools he makes use of, maybe programming languages or his experience, or yeah, that's actually what I want to know.
I would answer the question from a personal perspective, and then maybe I'll give a 30-second or a minute for Suresh to just chip in as well. So before I transition into this, my background, like I mentioned, was law. I was working in law, and n- not something I advise everyone to do. I self-thought, and then I got into the field. The reason I say that is I can almost say there is no immediate prerequisite or immediate skill set more than soft skills. But when it comes to technical skills, personally, and taking into consideration the future, things like Python definitely will be a good technical skill to have. If you're going down the automation route, there are other tools and languages as well, because I mean, I don't want to get the two confused as tools and languages, so programming languages. But with a programming language like Python, you can use a lot of the up and coming AI-enabled software testing tools. That's just my 2%. Suresh, do you want to add something
No,
to
I
that?
think you covered it, Paul. Yes, yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, go.
So there is nothing specific or defined, but yes, the main thing is you need to be smart enough and adaptive to the challenges that's coming up in your company. And yes, you should have good communication, and also like some kind of technical skill as you start as a starter. But definitely, it's all about like how you're going to perform in your given tasks. Yeah, and elevate yourself and your skills. But to enter into any organization, there are some basic things required, which is good communication and at least some kind of a basic knowledge, technical knowledge. Yeah.
Uh, I have another question. I want to know, in the job market, do companies hire people who are working remotely, or they do value the location of the applicants?
It depends on the company model actually. So there are like, uh, uh, I mean, there are some opportunities which demands. I mean, which is like more of a hybrid, like they can work anywhere or sometimes in office. And there are some opportunities which is like 100% remote. It's all depends on how the business model works. So I mean, I've been in the industry for 20 years, as I said. Like I worked on so many different models where I also worked on 100% remote and hybrid and 100% on-site. So it all depends. But after COVID, I think the remote model of working is became very popular, where the companies are able to progress very well during with the remote model of work. But of course, when there is a demand in where the client wants you to stay in office or visit the office, then definitely it's a need. But it depends on the project to project. But all type of opportunities are available in the market, so it's just how you hunt it, basically.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Also, let me ask you, for you who had the chance to move to different countries who are also into the tech industry. I've seen news that AI coding assistants have started to replace junior developers. So what do you say, or what do you think about the future of developers about that? Because some companies started to lay off, to replace junior developers by AI coding assistants. So what do you think?
That's a really interesting question. I was at a round table a couple of weeks ago, and that was one of the things that came up. What I always say to that is AI is not generally a replacement for people, but I think the point that you made about replacing junior developers makes sense. Unfortunately, again, it's like a catch-22. If you are a senior developer or you have some kind of experience, then you can use AI as an enabler. So you would turn to do maybe 2, 3, 4 people's jobs, which is why they're getting rid of junior developers. It's going to be a while before we get to that point where, there is a lot of collaboration between developers and AI to the detriment of anyone else entering the market. So the developers that thrive would be the ones that can actually use AI as an enabler, which is one of the reasons I mentioned languages like Python are very AI friendly and can easily be used. Any other questions? Oh, did that answer your question? I can't see who asked that question as well.
It's me.
Okay, all right. So did that answer your question?
But okay, but the point is that AI is surely started replacing some of the junior developers in some companies, and you need to pass through that junior step in order to be a senior. So I think that we somehow shake the career of some people. That's what I was talking about. And what I'm seeing is that the senior ones who have reached that point will be the ones who will collaborate and use AI, not the junior, because the junior developers will already be laid off. So
yeah, I think we're talking about. Oh, sorry, go on.
So what I was specifically talking about, we roles for developers be reduced or not? Yeah.
Definitely. It will be reduced. But that is not to say there is not going to be an entry point for junior developers because, I mean, obviously it can never work that way in a progressive society. All of those senior developers are naturally going to go off this earth. So there has to be a way for continuity. And I think that way or that path would be for people that set themselves apart. There will be a lot of little things that you can do to set yourself apart from the competition. But the point I'm making is there would still be an entry point. There would definitely be a reduced number of developers. And bear in mind, again, this is my opinion based off the way things are progressing, some of the resources I've read online, and other people's thoughts, which have helped me form my own opinion.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We just want to special thanks to Suresh. I mean, I can hang around for another few minutes to take questions, but Suresh has to jump to another meeting. So thank you so much, Suresh, for joining. Please, if we could just help say thank you to Suresh, that would be appreciated. I see someone has got their hand up.
Exactly. So
Okay.
thanks so much, Suresh, for this wonderful presentation. It's really been good, and wish you all the best. I believe we'll stay in touch. And as you can see, the students really enjoyed this, and that's why they are engaged. So thank you. Before anyone also drops, of course, this doesn't include Suresh. He's not giving us feedback on this. But the students, before you drop,
I think you went on mute, Patrick.
yeah, sorry. Okay, so I was saying that before any student could drop, please take the exit ticket, and then that would be good. But sure, I can see a hand up, Ike. You want to go ahead and ask your question or make your comment?
All right. Just like you were saying, a very big thank you to Mr. Suresh for his contributions, and also to Mr. Paul, your insights on my questions. I really appreciate that. So for more clarity or to ask an add-on question to that, first you because you made mention of Python. For someone like me now, even if I'm not that proficient enough to the level that I want, but I've actually built a few projects with Python, and I've tried out the manual testing, that is a TDD, where I have to write my own test cases in Python and test them against against my own code. So do you think I'm a good fit for such or for your trainings and assessments, maybe to transition into QA testing? So that's actually what I want to know.
Okay, thanks for that question, okay. It's a really good question. So one of the differentiating things with us and other providers is we go more or with people with a can-do attitude, which ideally what you've just mentioned, it's something you're already doing, it's something you are interested in, it's something that, it sounds like it's a field that you want to go into. And it's that passion that we're looking for. Because number one, there are a couple of things. It's one thing to get a job and it's another thing to keep it. But without the right attitude, you can't keep it. So I think to answer your question in a very short form, yes, it's definitely the kind of people that we look for in our program.
All right, thank you so much. I think in the previous weeks or months, I've actually sent out an application directly to you, but I think this time around I'll have to give it a second shot, and maybe you can evaluate my CV again and evaluate my works and see if I'm a good match for you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Send that across. I've shared our email address.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem. Can see there is a question, or there was a question in the chat as well. I don't know if this one was answered. What are some of the things you can do or learn to set yourself apart? That was a question from David. Yeah, so some of the things that you can do to set yourself apart would be, just taking part in projects. And I mean, I know that sounds like, okay, so first of all, I would need a project. How do I get involved in? But there are platforms online where you have like pay per buck. So there's like a marketplace. And how they do it is you sign up, you register, and then you hunt for like defects and bugs and stuff, and you get paid per bug that you find. So those are like good entry points as well. They're quite a different platforms. I would find them and share at some point. I can't think of all of them on the top of my head. But again, that gives you like really good insight and practical experience because you're actually doing it. They have different levels. It doesn't matter whether you have 0 years experience or 10 years experience. It's all about your ability to find these defects. So that would be a good way to get in to set yourself apart. The other one would be, just set yourself up on LinkedIn, reach out to people, ask for internships without even asking for money. Just say you want to do it, you want to experience it. That would be beneficial to you, and you never know what comes out of that in the end. But either way, it would be a win for you. So those are two ways, but I can go on. Let's if there's anyone else that have a question, then we can take that as well. Alrighty. I think that's all the questions there are. If there are no more questions, thank you everyone for attending. I hope you found value. Our email address is in the chat. If you have any follow-up questions, do not hesitate to reach out. We will try our best to respond. Thank you.
All right, thank you
And
so
also,
much.
if you found value in the session and you think you want more information, you want us to run another session, we would be, reach out to Patrick and we would be happy to accommodate.
All right, exactly. So once they reach out to me, I'll definitely get in touch and we'll see how it goes. So once again, thank you so much, Paul, for this wonderful conversation. It's been great listening to you and